Welcome once again to our YouTube channel, and today we're going to show you this awesome machine that we've been using for a few months now. And this is what we have used to replace our Apple machine that is used to open the iPhones. And the reason is because there's no molds involved with this. It's very simple, clear, cut, and dry. And we like the rectangular suction up here versus the round one on the Apple machine. We also like that the area for suction covers almost the entire phone, so it's easier to not break anything with this, although we never had a breakage, not even one, with the Apple machine. But we like this machine so much that we got it just for a bit over $100, 1/3 of what it would cost to buy the Apple machine. And we see that it works wonderfully well. We're going to tell you a little bit about the features on it. Right now it's off, but on the top you have, if you have a smaller screen size area, because if you're doing the back on a Samsung phone, so this will do the back on a Samsung phone, but sometimes you have the camera area, so you would have to put this little rubber piece here, and if you take it out like I did there, then your suction is the whole entire area. Now in this particular case, I'm going to open up an iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I'll show you just how it works. But you have the ability to put this on it, and this will give you a little smaller area to work on in case you have cameras that are bulging out of the back. Then just put this piece on and do the backs on Samsungs. You could also do the backs on the newer iPhones 15 and 16 series, and the upcoming, I don't know if the 17s will have the same way as far as the back opening, but we will have to wait and see. Now, what I also like is you have these little plates here that they do come off. So in the case of the iPhone 12 Pro Max, where you have this camera there, I can just put this piece here and slide it this way, and then I would have enough space for this to rest flat, because if I were to keep the other place in there, it will raise it. So having the ability to move these out makes it so much easier to work on the phones that have like the camera bump, if you will. So the camera bump will be on the other side, right here, and you can see there's a little bit of a drop-off point when I put it this way. So that's something that's really convenient. Now, something I did here, I'll bring it closer. You see there's like a little area that I added it. This thing wasn't high enough to grip the iPhones, and you can see there's like a little lip there. So what I did is I bought this piece of metal. It does have I have a part number, which I'll give you so you can get it on Amazon. And then I just used creativity to cut it. You can see it there, the same size as the top here. And this basically comes off. You can see the screws there. Two screws, one here and one here. It comes off. You just insert that in there, put this back in, and now it raises it up, I would say 2 or 3 millimeters, give or take. I have the part number, so I'll post it in the link in the description of the video, but this is exactly what you need. I'll put the part number there later. Anyway, how does it work? I'm going to do a quick demo. So in the back, you have a switch. You've got to make sure it's on. And then in the front, you have your on-off button. And it's measuring the temperature in Celsius. And then off to the right is your set point. So you can add here, and or you can subtract. So let's say 105 degrees Celsius, and we'll just wait for the temperature to climb up to reach that set point. Once you get to 105 degrees, by the way, it'll heat up both the top and the bottom, which is really cool. And then here's something else that I wanted to point out is that you have this little lever here that you can bring it back or front. So depending on the phone that you're working with, and you'll see the little gap there disappear. If you want it closer to the edge, you can do that. If you want it further from the edge, you can do this. Okay. So that depends on what phone you're working on. But again, I have used this machine to open backs on every single Samsung out there. And depending on the camera bump, I use this little gasket or not. Every single Samsung out there, I've opened every single iPhone front glass, and the back glass on the newer models, that the back glass just opens up like a door. So it's really easy with this machine, and you're controlling the machine basically. So on the front, what this does here is, if you notice, once I lay the phone down, you can move the clamp in the back. Watch this. You see how it's moving back? And now if I press it down, you'll see that right here. So you can close in on the phone, make sure it's grasping it or gripping it really well. Okay? So that's what the toggle button does. And then this button right below it is the one that controls the suction on the top. So right here on the top, once I press that button, the suction is going to come on. And what I like to do is, once I reach temperature, I'll set the phone down. I'll turn on suction. I'll let it sit there for a few minutes. And right after that, I'll start lifting up just by turning this. And once I'm turning this, it's going to be lifting up the screen. And voila, it comes out that easy. So I'm just going to wait for it to hit temperature, and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, I've hit temperature. And what you want to do is, of course, you make sure you remove your screws on the bottom of your iPhone. Make sure that the phone is turned off. Set it down like this. And then what you want to do is make sure you turn your toggle switch so you see this part closing in. Once it's already gripped, then I'm just going to set this down just like that. Make sure it touches the bottom without even turning this. And then just turn on your suction and wait a few minutes. So what's happening right now is you're getting heat both from the bottom of the phone and from the top of the phone as well. And like I said, you wait a few minutes, and right after that, you just start turning here, and you'll be able to pull that screen off super, super easy. What I like is, notice how almost the whole entire part of this heat area with the suction is almost the same size of the screen. Obviously, this is a 12 Pro Max, so it's a much bigger screen. But on a regular size iPhone, the smaller sizes, this pretty much covers the whole entire area. But you don't need it to be that way. It'll work wonderfully on the larger size screens, and including all the pluses. So we'll wait a few minutes, and we'll be back to show you how it's done. All right, we're back. So we're going to start lifting up on the screen. You might or might not notice that the screen is already starting to lift up. You can always use some 99% alcohol on there, depending on how it comes up. You see how it's already starting to lift over on this side, but I'm just going to drop some alcohol in there just to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to do the same around the bottom and around the back as well. And look at that. Pretty much out already. Not hard at all. Super easy. Super easy. No prying tools at all. Not using any bit of prying tools. All I'm using is the machine. Let the machine do the work for you. Tools are what makes the tradesman. I've always said it. You are home free. That's it. I mean, you can get some of this glue by just cutting it. But I didn't use one single piece of prying tool. And of course, once you drop that piece of metal there, once you are done, all you have to do is release the suction, and the screen falls off the top. That's how good the suction is. And then just pull back on the toggle switch, pull up, and the phone is there. Of course, you want to wear your gloves when you do that, but that's how easy it is, folks. Not hard at all. Again, I got this machine, I believe, a couple months ago for a little bit over $100. Right now, I looked on the website, they're about $135, I think. I still think it's a heck of a bargain compared to even the Nasan machine. I forgot which model it was. There's a Nasan machine that Nasan sells that does the same function as this machine does. It even has the plates that come off for the phones that have the camera bump, like you saw me do now. It has the same plates. It has this, and it costs like $400. And this machine costs you just a little bit over $100. Again, I think everyone that works on phones and opens phones, you already know, and I already know, that the cost of a screen, any screen out there, you name it. Let's say you're doing a battery replacement, which is what I'm going to do on this iPhone 12 Pro Max, by the way. Everyone knows that the cost, there it is, that the cost of a screen, if you're just replacing a battery, if you break that screen when you're trying to open it up to replace the battery, you've lost a significant amount of money, and you got to replace that for the customer. So this machine more than pays for itself. Again, I will put the link in the description. I'll also put the link in the description for that little piece of metal that you need there to raise it up. This is the only negative thing I saw with this machine. It was designed for Samsungs, but if you want to work on the newer, thicker iPhones, like the 12 and up, you got to raise that lip up a little bit, and it was easy to fix, not hard at all. So I'll put those links in the description below as well. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. Give us a like. Give us your comment on the machine. If you already have it and own it, let us know how you feel about it. If you have a different kind of machine, let us know how you feel about that one. Again, we replaced our Apple machine with this one. And the difference with this machine and the Apple machine is this works on all of our phones. This works on iPhones, Samsungs. We've opened up Motorola's with this, everything. Whereas the Apple machine is designed for Apple, and you got to have the molds or even the universal mold, and then you're only capable of doing iPhones. There are different machines out there like TBK and all that, but we did not like them because it's just a little circle suction cup, where this suction is, man, almost the whole length of the phone. It is just a well all-around machine. So go ahead and give it a shot. Let us know how you feel, and we'll catch you on the next one.